Pixel is one of the oldest side characters in Ninjago's history, been around ever since the third season, introduced for the sole purpose to be Zane's girlfriend. Yeah, that was practically her entire role for the 13 seasons of the original show she was in. She did get a bit more later on, but then at the end, Crystallize came in and completely undermined her character, and dare I say ruined the best thing the show ever gave to her. But this video isn't about the original show. This is about Dragon's Rising. The show praised for fixing older characters and making them the best they've ever been. What do you mean, except when it comes to the Clankers? What do you mean they completely botched Zane's character and pointlessly dragged Pixel down with him? Like a lot of other characters, the writers wait a few seasons to reintroduce Pixel back into the series, which makes sense. You don't want to overblow the cast. Now typically when they wait to bring back a character, but specifically make sure to tease them beforehand, it's because they have a special plan for them. They have a story that they want to tell and are taking their time with it to get the timing right and build up hype. Which is what they did with Pixel. She wasn't completely absent from the first couple of seasons of the show. Zane talked about her, which meant that she was still relevant and was being saved to be brought back when the time was right. During the build-up for Season 3, it was pretty clear that Zane was going to be the mascot character and going to be getting a good bit of attention. Which is what happened. Except it wasn't good attention. Like, at all. I'm not going to go into details, I already made a 30-minute video on Zane. But in short, it feels like the writers just thought that giving Zane more screen time and him doing things he's known for was going to satisfy the fans. And what's one of the most important parts of Zane? Pixel! So it only makes sense that she would come back for this big event. And she did! She returned! You're expecting me to talk about what she did during the season, aren't you? Okay, let's see. She made Zane happy. She made him big. We got this really cute Lloyd hug and this really cute Nia hug. She did a little dance with Zane, and then she left. Yeah, she and Zane rode off into the sunset happily ever after. What do you mean I didn't go into enough detail? What do you mean that couldn't have been all she did in that show that I missed something? Look, this is my video. I decide how much I want to talk about, and I went into plenty of detail. I don't know what else you want from me. You wanted to know what she did, and I told you. Not my fault you can't believe that the writers didn't do crap with her and got rid of her the first chance they got. Oh, so now you want to know why they would bring her back at all if they didn't have any ideas for her. What you want to know? I have absolutely no clue. Okay, so really, what was the point of bringing her back? The writers clearly didn't have a plan for her. She did absolutely nothing new or interesting for the 8 episodes she was in, and then she immediately leaves again for the rest of the season. What was the point? The writers have had so much restraint when it comes to not reintroducing old characters just for the heck of it. They waited over 2 whole seasons to fully bring back Jay, one of the main characters. Same with Root, arguably main character, still hasn't made a physical appearance in current day. Garmadon, Misako, Skylar, Dareth are all pretty major characters in the original show, but still haven't shown up in DR yet, presumably because the writers don't have a place for them. So why Pixel? Why did they feel the need to bring her back, even though they had absolutely no idea what they were going to do with her after they were finished revisiting Zane's top 10 worst character traits? Right now, it just seems like their plan is to completely ignore her. They ship her off in episode 11, never to be seen again for the rest of the season. And according to the rumors, she'll only be getting 1 line in the first part of season 4. Nope, you didn't mishear me. 1 single line of dialogue is all she is rumored to be getting in Dragon's Rising Season 4, Part 1. So please explain to me, what in the world was the point of bringing her back at all? Now the reason this is such a big issue is because DR has a bit of a problem when it comes to having a bloated cast of characters. With all the old ninja, the ever-expanding new ninja team, and a slew of side characters. This show is constantly juggling how much screen time everyone gets, and here they go, making their job even harder by adding in yet another character for seemingly no reason. But here's the most frustrating part. There is an interesting Pixel related story dangling right in front of the writers' faces. I am, of course, referring to the mysterious pods both as she and Zane were found in. What are these? Where do they come from? How did Zane and Pixel end up in them? How do they end up in the Imperium and First Lands monasteries? All these questions were set up in only the 9th episode of the show, and here we are over 2 years later, 51 episodes later, and we are no closer to any of those answers. You would think that a heavily Zane-focused season, a season where the pods are directly brought back into relevance, would be where we discover what they are. That Zane, now knowing that his soulmate was trapped inside one as well, would be determined to get to the bottom of how they got in there. That's why you bring Pixel back, so that she and Zane can go on a search for answers and get to the bottom of the mystery together. But no, Season 3 had no interest in exploring this 2-year-old question, and it appears that Season 4 Part 1 doesn't either. Pixel isn't a character I ever gave much thought to until this year. I wasn't incredibly hyped to see her back, and yet I was still disappointed. Like, if you're going to bring her back, and I'm not saying bringing her back is a bad idea, I would love to see her back if you actually gave her something new to do. If you actually did something interesting with her. But they didn't. They didn't do anything with her. Like, genuinely, what is the show's problem with robots? Why is it both the robots and only the robots? Why does no one else have the same issue? Pixel is just yet another reason why Season 3 broke a bit of my trust in the show. I really hope that she's treated better in the future. And can we please just learn what the heck those pods are about? With that, really appreciate it. If you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe, I will be doing both a collection showcase and a Q&A at 1,000 subscribers. I am incredibly close. Bye. Zane talked about her, which meant that she was still relevant and being saved. And here they go, making their job even harder by adding